Promises to be an ugly one Thursday night in Pittsburgh as the 2-8 Panthers are actually out to 2.5-point favorites over bowl-eligible Boston College. Yes, it's true. But sometimes the ugly ones are the most fun to bet on. How's it going, everybody? Brian Power back with you to discuss a little Thursday night college football. Will I be fading BC for a second straight week? Stay tuned to find out. But first, gotta let you know that we've decided to extend last week's special offer where you could take $50 off any 30-day pass, whether it be an all-access or sports-specific. Just use coupon code ALL30 at checkout. I'll have more on that special offer coming up in just a few minutes. But let's get back to the game at hand. Boston College at Pittsburgh, Thursday night ACC matchup. Now, if you're a client of mine, then you already know I faded this BC team last Saturday. And boy, did that turn out to be a wise decision. They got their doors blown off at home by Virginia Tech, 48-22. Closing as a 3-point home underdog, did the Eagles. Now, BC led early, 7-3. All looked okay. But after that, all Hokies. Virginia Tech scores 35 consecutive points to take a commanding lead. They never looked back after that, eventually outgaining BC 600-262. So it was quite the one-sided affair last week in Chestnut Hill. As a result of that, for a second consecutive week now, BC is an underdog to an opponent with an inferior one-loss record. I think that speaks volumes. Now, unlike Virginia Tech, Pitt does not have any chance of going bowling this season. That was a big reason, big part of the handicap. I took Va Tech last week. They were still playing for a chance to become bowl eligible. That's not a reality for Pitt, who's already lost 8 games, although we should take note, they are the only team to defeat Louisville this season, and I was on Pitt in that game. But since pulling that upset, Pitt, well, it's gone very poorly. They've lost 4 straight, and it may have been rock bottom this past Saturday when they surrendered 382 yards on the ground. Yes, just rushing yards. That's what they allowed. 382 to Syracuse. There are lots of rumblings right now that head coach Pat Narduzzi may be living on borrowed time. Certainly doesn't help that the Pitt offense is averaging just 11 points per game the last 4 weeks. Change of quarterback to Christian Veyer, who replaced an ineffective Phil Jerkovic. That has not made much of a difference either. This offense still stinks for Narduzzi, who, I don't know, could be coaching for his job at this point. Now, that being said, the line move towards Pitt is curious, considering they have nothing left to play for this season. It is their final home game, though. And that should lead to some motivation for the Panthers. On the flip side, BC, they haven't won 8 games in a season since 2009, so maybe that's some motivation moving forward, especially coming off such an embarrassing defeat like the one they took to Va Tech. But I think it's pretty clear the market doesn't have much respect for BC right now. I think the early money that has shown early this week is justified on Pitt. BC, while bowl eligible, just isn't very good in my opinion. As a matter of fact, as I wrote in my analysis for that Va Tech BC game, quote, Boston College has been living dangerously for quite some time now. 5 of their 6 wins have come by 7 points or less, and those were against the likes of Holy Cross, Virginia, Army, and UConn. Real rogues gallery there. Quite simply, the Eagles are very lucky to be bowl eligible, in my opinion. In fact, here's the list of the Power 5 teams that I have rated below them. This isn't going to take long. Stanford, Vanderbilt, Virginia, Arizona State, Michigan State. That's it. Just 5 teams. So I say lay it with Pitt, provided the number doesn't get higher than -3. Wouldn't want to lay more than a field goal, I think, in a matchup like this. I think Pitt gives their few remaining fans something to cheer about Thursday night. Now, if you want something to cheer about, be sure to check me out on Twitter at BrianPower_wins. Also, don't forget to head on over to my page, wt.buzz/BP, for daily winners across all sports. As of Monday, I've won 3 consecutive days, including both College Football Saturday and NFL Sunday. In addition to that nice win I talked about with Va Tech, I also cashed in with Texas Tech, UCF, and San Jose State on Saturday. All 3 of those are pretty nice as well. If you're interested in more winners like that, plus NBA, where I'm hitting 67% for the season so far, then be sure to grab a 30-day all-access pass. Again, you can save $50 off the cost by using the code ALL30. That's ALL30 at checkout. Now, if you want more college football previews, be sure to click on this next video.